These are your three keys to the match in a marquee meeting between two of the better teams in MLS, Toronto FC and the Chicago Fire. Gareth Wheeler with you. Toronto FC on an absolute roll, coming off a convincing 4-1 victory over the Portland Timbers last weekend and remain atop the MLS table on 47 points. They traveled to Chicago to take on the Fire, who are the best home team in Major League Soccer. 10 wins, 1 draw, no losses at home, 31 goals for and 5 against. That's good news for Chicago because, quite frankly, the team is going in the wrong direction, having only won 1 game out of their last 6 and losing 3-0 midweek to the Montreal Impact. They've been really struggling, conceding lots of goals, which plays right into our first key to the match, taking full advantage of a broken back line. Polster and Vincent, the 2 starting fullbacks for the Chicago Fire, both missed the midweek match in Montreal. They're questionable heading into this weekend. Vincent in particular, a former MLS All-Star, is a huge loss to a Fire team that likes to push the fullbacks forward, play in very high positions. Complicating matters even more so for the Fire, they lost center back Mira during the early stages in Montreal. He has a calf injury and is highly doubtful for Saturday's game as well. That leaves Kappelhoff as really the only lone regular across the back line. In fact, Matt Lamson, their goalkeeper, he's a backup as well. So this is going to be patchwork stuff at the back for Chicago, which plays in the hands of Sebastian Giovinco, leading MLS in shots per game. Josie Altidore is a beast. And Victor Vasquez, that trio up top has to be licking their chops at the prospect of a decimated Chicago Fire back line. The second key to the match, a midfield masterclass. It's going to be a true challenge for Michael Bradley, Marky Delgado, Victor Vasquez on Saturday night, taking on Bastian Schweinsteiger and Dax McCarty in the midfield. Schweinsteiger and McCarty love to hold deep. They love to cherish possession of the ball. Chicago has the best pass completion rate in all of Major League Soccer at 82% and dominate possession really upwards of 53% per game. In fact, in the previous matchup in Toronto in a 3-1 win, Chicago had more possession of the ball, but it's how Toronto FC took advantage at times of Chicago lacking the legs in the middle of the park. Michael Bradley especially likes to hold deep, allows Chicago to gain possession of the ball, then pressure the player. Not giving Chicago time in the middle of the park will be key. And TFC getting out in transition bodes well for a team that did so against Portland last weekend expertly. That midfield matchup is absolutely key, especially considering Chicago Fire played midweek. Schweinsteiger, who still looks a little bit heavy, played the full 90 minutes, so perhaps he'll be lacking in the legs department a little bit on Saturday night. This is a matchup that Toronto FC should like, despite the quality that they're playing against. It's just the context is key. A tired Chicago team that likes to cherish ball possession against a Toronto FC team that loves to attack and mix it up in the middle of the park. I like this matchup for TFC. And the third key to the match, beware of the all-action Accam. David Accam is the danger man on this Chicago Fire team. He has 12 goals, 7 assists on the season, and he's really the one player in the group that brings a lot of pace. And when you play the system that Toronto FC does, the 3-5-2, it's those pockets of space out wide that can cause all kinds of problems if used effectively by the opponent. Accam, for whatever reason, didn't start the game, the 3-1 loss in Toronto earlier this season, but he's a player that can wreak havoc. He's very dangerous, he's on very good form, and it's his pace that creates a lot of the other action up front. Chicago Fire have more goals from open play than any other team in MLS with 36, and that's how players like Nikolic and DeLeu and Solniak, they find those pockets of space. It's because of the attention that Accam draws because of his natural speed. So beware of Accam down the left flank this weekend. If they can wrap him up, limit the space that he gets, it could mean very good things for Toronto FC from a defensive perspective.